So can we just take a second and look at the beautiful leaf on this Hoya Joy? I mean, look at that. So it's getting sun stressed, but look at the leaves. Hey there guys, welcome back to my channel, GustysPlants. My name is Gussie and I am a Hoya head. I'm addicted to plants, specifically Hoyas. I do have the rare pothos here and there, but my main thing here is Hoyas. And I've been gone for a while. I've been actually busy. I got a new job. I've been working as a boba barista, so I make drinks with bobas. And anyways, so in today's video, as you guys saw in the title though, I don't want to make this intro a little bit longer just to cut it short. Today we're going to be talking about the tips and cares and what I have to say on caring for Hoya Joy. Maybe you just bought this Hoya online and you're trying to see a video on, you know, how the leaves look or how the Hoya looks. Maybe you just bought it online. You're looking for a video to, you know, kind of have a gauge point on how to care for it. So I guess you came to the right video, to the right guide, to the right channel. So let's get started with tips and care on how to grow and how to live happy with your Hoya Joy. Let's get started. Alright guys, so Hoya Joy, it's not indigenous to a particular area. Hoya Joy is a hybrid. It's a CB, which is a cultivar. So Hoya Joy is the daughter of two other Hoyas, which are the parent Hoyas. We have Hoya Laos right here. This is the father. And then this is the mother, Hoya Vitellina. I have both of them. So guys, if you, how did Hoya Joy came about is by having a flower of this one and a flower of this one close by, and a moth or an insect, you know, pollinated both of these and cross, you know, bred both of these, and as a result both of these had a baby, and that baby came out to be Hoya Joy. So let's look at the father plant here, which is Laos. You can see the leaves of this one is thick, green, super succulent. If you touch it, it's very thick and robust. It's veiny as well, which it's I love this. And then the leaves are more on the thinner side. I mean, the leaves are more like on the narrow side, but they're very thick and veiny. Looking at the other parent plant, which I would like to call the mother because the name is Vitellina, you can see it's much more rounder. It's much more glossier. And I'm talking about it in dripping water because I have it in my greenhouse. But this one is a little bit more of a faster grower, as you guys can see right here. But yeah, it's more rounder. It's not as narrow as Laos. And yeah, so just wanted to show you guys the mother plant and the father plant in order for, you know, Hoya Joy to have come alive. Anyway, so once in a blue moon, okay, so once you have that bred and, you know, they give you a flower and, you know, the flower created a seed pot and that little seed sprouted into what we have here as Hoya Joy, guys. Look at this. So once you have those two leaves, you get this humongous mother plant, which is my Hoya Joy. Look at this. I don't know why I said mother plant, because this is the baby daughter. But so here it is, guys, Hoya Joy. So the first things first you should know about this Hoya is that it's a cultivar. It's Hoya CV Joy. That's the actual name of this plant. Hoya CB because it's cultivar. It's a cultivar. It's a hybrid. And the name of it is Joy. Now you guys know what this plant is and the parent plants. Hoya Laos, Hoya Vitellina crossbred in order to give you Hoya Joy. Now, one of my favorite Hoyas, or in general, some of my favorite Hoyas are hybrids, Hoya CBs, because Hoya CBs, cultivars in other words, are very fast grower. And here you have Hoya Mathild, Hoya Joy, Hoya Panchoy. You have lots of Hoya CBs, which are cultivars. But yeah. Anyways, back to Hoya Joy. Let's look at the leaves. Let's look at the foliage so you guys can kind of pinpoint how your Hoya could look like. Now, mine's I have it growing under a Growlight, which I will talk about in a little bit of a while. But let's just look at the leaves and let's appreciate the beauty of them. So guys, look at the leaves right here. Are these leaves not just impressive, guys? Right? Like they're thick, super thick, very glossy. This is my favorite leaf. I think out of all my Hoyas, this probably might be my favorite leaf, especially because look, it's like the size of my face almost. But it's beautiful. This one, I think it's mostly beautifully appreciated, like from the bottom, from the top down. And it also has a little baby leaf forming right here on the bottom. I don't think you guys could see this. Hopefully the camera focuses it right here. I have it growing under a grow light, and so it's turning a little bit red. And it's also sprouting a new tendril over here on the side, which is amazing. And the growing medium that I have it is in coconut husk. You guys could take a look. Let me zoom in a little bit closer. There you go, guys. So here it is, guys. It's growing in coconut husk. Okay, so let's get to it. Let's get to how I grow my Hoya Joy. Alright, guys. So Hoya Joy, I actually got this plant as a 2-leaf Hoya. And I'll make sure to insert the clip here where I got this plant. I actually made an unboxing video, and I got a Hoya Joy in one of those unboxings. It was just 2 leaves. They were rooted, and yeah, it took quite a while for my plant to you know, acclimate to my house and to my climate. It was growing in soil, so I transplanted it really quickly to coconut husks. This Hoya took a little bit of a while for it to acclimate to my house. However, in the process of acclimating to my substrate, which is coconut husks, nothing happened to it. It was just stagnant, like it was just like in a coma. It didn't do much. But once it woke up, it started giving me light. Started giving me leaf after leaf after leaf. I've noticed though that this Hoya did require for me to give it more fertilizer. So that's a tip I could give you guys, is that it does like more fertilizer. This Hoya requires fertilizer in order to grow, as opposed to other Hoyas that I have in my collection that don't really require much fertilization at all. This one is a hungry bitch, and it does like to be eating, you know, fertilizer. You can also use some Osmocote, but for me, this Hoya prefers liquid fertilizer. It'd be like fish fertilizer, you know, whatever kind of liquid fertilizer that you can feed it like once a week will be good. If you don't feed this Hoya, it doesn't grow. I've noticed in my experience. Don't quote me on that. And that also varies on your location. I'm in Los Angeles, California, in South Central Los Angeles. So I am in South California. We're kind of close to the bay. It gets hot, but not like in the 3 digits. We're like on the 80s and 90s, probably most of the year. It's very hot, but it's also very humid. So it's kind of like a tropical weather. We don't really get rain, and we don't really get that cold. So that kind of influences how the plant looks and how the plant grows. So just take that in mind. For me, Hoya Joy, it's a phenomenal plant. It's a fast grower once you have it acclimated to your house, and once you start, you know, figured out the feeding schedule for it. It's definitely, I would not say this is a beginner's Hoya, because it does require a little bit more of a, you know, pain in the ass, because sometimes the leaves could definitely yellow and die if you don't, you know, if you keep it too dry. So you kind of have to keep it a little bit on the watery side, and don't let it dry out, because if you let it dry out, it's not gonna die, but it's not gonna grow. And that's kind of like a little bit of a hard plant too, in my opinion. It's not 100% the hardest plant. I mean, this one is kind of easy care. I know that a lot of people have this Hoya growing in leca, which I don't grow my plants in leca, actually. I prefer them in coconut husks. But anyways, you guys are watching my video, you guys are watching my tips. Fast forward to where I have it now. I have it in my greenhouse. I have it growing in my greenhouse, and I have it, I believe, I'm not sure of the temperature because I don't have a like a thermometer to gauge what the temperature is, but it's always hot, it's always humid. When I open my greenhouse and I walk in, I always get, you know, hit with the suffocation of the humidity, and I start sweating really fast. And also my plants, my Hoyas, like my tendrils, have little what you can say, little aerial roots coming out. That means that it's very humid in there. But what I noticed though that this plant loved was the green light. I mean, it was the Growlight. I have the Vivo Sun Growlight heating right up on down in it, and it's giving me so much growth. Like, I am impressed with it. It's one of the Hoyas that it's very resilient. I really have not seen any pests in this plant as well, as it comes to pests. Other plants get thrips, mealybugs. This one has not given me any pest at all. It does have a spider web right here on the bottom. I don't know if you guys could see. I don't think you guys can't nor want to. But it does have a spider web, but that's fine. I'm not scared of it. It's actually giving me another tendril right here on the tip. I don't know if you guys could see it right here. Another little tendril, and on the tip right here is giving me another tendril right there. So I'm just like obsessed with this plant because it's living life, loving the life that I'm giving it, and finally it's growing and it's giving me what I wanted from this plant. Love and it's just massive. Guys, I wanted to make this video really quick because honestly guys, Hoya Joy, it's by far one of my favorite Hoyas, and I think that if you guys have this Hoya, you guys should definitely, if you guys don't have this Hoya, you guys should definitely look into it because it's a very rewarding Hoya. I feel like once, it's very easy to acclimate to your house. If you grow it in leca, if you grow it in soil, it's a Hoya that, you know, can acclimate to whatever conditions you want to give it. As far as it growing it in winter, I don't think it'll do bad. I actually got this plant kind of in the colder months, and maybe that's why it really wasn't growing for me, because I had it indoors before taking it outdoors, and it was just stagnant. But once it got hot and I took it outside in my greenhouse and I started feeding it with the fertilizer and then the Growlight, it just started to take off. It did like completely 360. So if you guys live like say in Chicago, New York, maybe somewhere in Europe where it's like really cold, Russia perhaps, where it's not so, you know, humid, it's more like on the colder side, Iceland, perhaps Canada, this plant may not do the best. So if you guys live on those colder areas, maybe order a heat mat so that it could, you know, provide a little bit of warmth to your plant. And if you guys live like in Hawaii, tropical Philippines, Indonesia, Thailand, California, Florida, you're fine. You can grow it indoors, you can grow it outdoors. However, I would recommend if you guys live in one of those, you know, regions where it's kind of tropical and humid, keep it outside and it'll do great. You don't have to worry about it. I mean, however, if you do decide to keep this plant outside, make sure that you don't keep it in leca. I find that leca works for plants that are indoors, and if you're gonna have it outdoors, have it in soil. If you're gonna have it in a greenhouse, have it in cocoa husks. That's about it, guys. It's a very nice Hoya. It's not the easiest, but it's also not the hardest. But I just think that the leaves on this plant are just magnificent and great. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you have any questions, if you guys have any concerns on this Hoya, things that I didn't you know, talked about on this plant, make sure to give me a comment down below, and if I have the answer, I'll definitely give you guys an answer. And if I don't have an answer, I'll give you guys, or I'll search for you guys like a link that you can read to, you know, maybe answer your question. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, make sure you guys do, because I do a lot of updates on my plants. A lot of my Hoyas are shown on my Instagram stories, so give me a follow on Instagram if you guys want. You don't have to, but if you want to, it's down on the description box, and I'll also leave a link right here on the video. Yes guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Kapung karigato, kasamasta, salamat. Bye bye.